Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of my most excellent videos. In front of us, we have the Panasonic Toot-a-Loop. It's a classic AM portable radio, model number R-72. During this video, perform an evening medium wave band scan. First we'll go over features, second I'll do a size comparison, and third we'll start cruising the evening band. So here it is, the iconic Toot-a-Loop. I love it. These are awesome. You can find these selling on eBay for around 40 to 60 bucks. Definitely a premium attached to this radio because of its uniqueness and the era it comes from. From 1969 to 1972, these were produced, and you had various colors such as red, blue, white, yellow in America, and Australia and New Zealand got orange and green. Green sought after, green being the highest priced one, around $300 to $350 completed auctions. I was freaking out when I saw that price. But you can get a decent example like this for right around 40 to 50 bucks. Totally worth it because it is fun, and you'll see in a little bit. And I'm surprised how well it works. So yeah, regular features here. So the Panasonic R-72, like I said, ran for 4 years during a groovy time. Yep. If you check out my review video, I go into a little bit of detail. But yeah, a neat radio. So let me show you how this thing works. So you got a speaker right here. It folds up into a carrying type device, like a portable radio should, right? You got a whole handle built into it. We have our volume on-off control right there. We got an earphone jack on the bottom over here. Nice. 2-inch speaker right here with a kind of a screen in there to protect it. I think some paint even got in here. I couldn't get off, but it protected the speaker. You can see that speaker in there. Nice. And on the back side, pretty much has arrows to tell you which way how to open it up. I'll show you that in a second. There's also the battery compartment, which is right here. Holds a 9-volt battery. And up here is the radio compartment where you can open up and service electronics if you have to. On the side here, it has arrows telling you which way to turn your Toot-a-Loop to open it up. And there we go. Ta-da! Isn't that awesome? Groovy. There's your dial. 530 to 1600. Now, it does say it goes to 1605, but my radio goes all the way to 1670 during the day, which I was shocked. Very cool. You can see it's got an aluminum kind of dish there. Very awesome. Loving that. And the indicator is fairly accurate for this radio. And it's direct tune, by the way. So it's directly connected to the tuning capacitor. There's no strings or belts or anything like that. And right in here is our little ferrite antenna, about 1.5 inches. And I'll put a picture up here on the left-hand side so you get an idea what that radio compartment looks like if I was holding it like that. There you go. You can see the little guy. It's kind of on an angle there. Works out pretty good, though. The thing's sensitive. I can't believe how sensitive it is for a little antenna. During the day, it blew me away. Sensitivity was amazing. So definitely a hot little radio. But yeah, and you just turn this dial like this. I usually use 2 fingers because you real fine tuning as you go up the dial. Get past 1,000, it starts to get a little tighter there. You know, between 10 and 1600 versus 530 to 10. You see the big difference. Gets a little narrower up there. But yeah, a lot of stations to be had. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Going over here, you can see we got our label. Toot-a-Loop, Panasonic. And it's made in Japan. There's your model number, R-72. Frequency range, it says 525 to 1605. And of course, it runs on a 9-volt battery right there. 9-volt. Nice. Cool. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers the thing. Let's go do a quick size comparison. Fold it back up. Well, actually, I should show you how it works. So yeah, you can have it sitting up like this on your desk or wherever you want to put it. And of course, it'll be displaying like this as you have it sitting there, which is awesome. But I can't do that on camera because I'm kind of filming it top down. But you get the idea. And then you could open it all the way like this. So it's kind of neat. It goes all the way to a 180. I love it. Isn't that awesome? There's an old ad where this old man's holding it up to his ear like it's a hearing device. It was pretty cool. But yeah, that's definitely an awesome radio. So yeah, let's do a quick size comparison. I'll fold this back up. All right, so I have CC pocket off to the side. Here we are. Yeah, big difference. This radio is a pretty chunky radio. Time is 11:22. That's p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm near Chicago, Illinois, USA, for the sake of this evening band scan. Hopefully we pick up some good stations. I have no idea how it is tonight. We'll see. And then we have frequency checker if we get lost, which could happen at nighttime. Gets pretty congested with the amount of stations coming in on the frequencies. So you definitely might need help with a digital radio to decode stuff if you're DXing with your Toot-a-Loop, which you probably could. So yes, Skywave 2 will help us out. And then if you don't have those two radios for size comparison, we have a deck of cards. Iron Man! Oh yeah! He's the man with the master plan. He loves Toot-a-Loops from Japan. He's Iron Man, who loves Panasonic's men. Oh yeah, I mean Panasonics from this era, they rock the world, man. You guys know it. Every Panasonic radio I've gotten from this era and up to the 80s have been fantastic. Fantastic radios. So, alright, cool. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to bring this up. Now the thing is I have a problem with leaning this back because then it turns the volume down because that volume control is right here. And it just naturally rolls with the curve and it turns it down. It's funny. Better than up, I guess. Let's go back to the bottom of the dial there because our indicator is red pointing at 530. Boom. Once in a while I might pick it up to look at it to see where we're at on the dial. So, but yeah, I'm going to keep it with the speaker here. Now cardinal directions are north, east, south, west. Okay, let's turn it on. I think in my review video, I was picking up Cuba with it. Don't quote me on that, but I think I did. Which I was pretty shocked. That would be this way. Excuse me.
Existential. Any hint at the selective...
So here's 540 WAUK Jackson, Wisconsin, 70 miles to the north, 400 watts at night. Nothing on 530. But yeah, pretty cool.
Will prove difficult to regain. Yeah, you think? Meanwhile, Senator Andy Kim, I thought Andy Kim was a member of the House of Representatives. Ditch your crap permanently. 314-262-6277 or St. Louis Foundation.repair.com. Be here with River City Tree Service. River City Tree Service, located in Baldwin, Missouri, is the premier tree service company serving St. Louis, St. Charles, and Jefferson counties.
So I don't know if you heard that as St. Louis, a tree service. That's KTRS 550, St. Louis, Missouri, 275 miles to the southwest, and it's 5,000 watts at night. So yeah, her antenna is orientated with this name. So Panasonic, perpendicular, here's the antenna. So you want to make sure you're facing that horizontal edge to the station you're trying to receive. So that's why I'm pointing the top of this part towards that direction. Our next station is Chicago, which is southeast for me, and then I point it that way.
Fourth or fifth year have a rotation. Take it to Los Angeles and SoFi. It's a beautiful stadium. Take it.
Here's 560 WIND, Chicago, local.
Maybe Atlanta and some of these other places. But move it around. You got to give credit to the
$100. Safe step walking test. Safety never felt so good.
Why choose the Sleep Number Smart Bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can you sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Goes up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort for each side of your Sleep Number setup. Now save 50% of the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. 12 pre-owned deliveries to activate and money. Sleep Number store near you.
Okay, so this is 590. I believe we're picking up KXSP, Omaha, Nebraska, 405 miles to the southwest, 5,000 watts at night.
Something? Well, I used to be one of those guys, I didn't even think about it, and one of my buddies said, hey, the only reason to this insurance is if you hate your wife and kids. And I immediately went and got term life insurance. That's a gut punch. For decades, Dave, I've sat across people who've lost a spouse.
Here's 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 52 miles, 10,000 watts to the north.
You know, you got two options while you're
you're sitting and talking to a young widow. She's concerned about how she's going to invest all this money properly and not mess this up, or she's concerned how she's going to eat tomorrow. These are the two options. It's saying...
Pushing Trump's priorities in two separate bills as they remain impatient with the lack of progress in the House. And the president is ready to ditch paper straws. Trump...
Here's WMFN 640, Peatone, Illinois, 75 miles, 1,600 watts.
To a Biden-era plan to phase out plastic straws in favor of paper ones. The Biden administration ordered a phase out of single-use plastic from the federal government's food service operations, packaging, and events by 20...
Okay, the music here is actually Nashville, Tennessee. It's coming in kind of weak. This is 650 WSM. Typically comes in pretty strong. This is 434 miles to the south. Hopefully, this isn't indicative of what's going to happen tonight, if it's going to be a crummy night all night or not, depending. This is February 2025, if you're wondering what and when I'm filming this.
Yeah, I mean, they're hilarious. But
There you go. So if you just wait a little bit, Nashville came in nice. So that's what happens with medium wave. Just give it time, and it always sometimes corrects itself and gets better, or it gets worse.
oh God, Mahomes sucks. Well, it's kind of what he's really
Here's 670, The Score, WSCR Chicago, home of the Cubs.
kind of is an off-script artist who runs for first downs rather than throws for them. He doesn't operate as a real traditional quarterback, and he's also getting old.
Back as she can remember.
So this is 700 WLW, Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles.
Challenge. She wanted to learn as much as she could, so she harnessed her passion, and now she's a cybersecurity officer in the military.
You've heard Tom Fortino, principal and founder of the Alpha Wealth Group, for years here on WGN. We invite you to join him.
Okay, call letters I just almost cut out. WGN 720, Chicago, Illinois.
5 pillars of a complete retirement plan. How to build guaranteed income, tax efficiency, a smart investment plan you can stick to.
This morning, 4:30 to 7. It's Thursday night with Tom Fortino and some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool.
Sign outside the New Hope community.
Wings. And enough.
I think I went a little fast there. I tuned it up a little too quickly. This is 740, Zoomer Radio, Toronto, Ontario, to the northeast, 460 miles.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When traffic hits.
Raining pretty heavy. Crash still on the right lane, 85 northbound Hamilton Mill.
Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Marking for a long, slow ride to I-20 and your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Not often we can say this, but 285 is looking great.
Brought to you by the Cool Rate Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 12:34.
So there you go. This is 750 WSB, Atlanta, Georgia, 630 miles, southeast.
left lane block. On I-20 eastbound at Columbia Drive, you got one left lane block.
Improved dramatically, and Susan says he started walking more smoothly, running, and even climbing stairs for the very first time. Thank you, Liam. You made the doggy Dean's list. Canopine, Hawking.
760 is WJR, Detroit, Michigan, 270 miles to the east. I like the audio, it sounds good.
Guy Benson. Back in the Big Apple on the Guy Benson Show. Thanks for listening. Potentially podcast elevation. President Trump says if Hamas doesn't release all the hostages by 12 noon Saturday, all bets are off and let hell break out. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. A number of stories that we are dealing with this morning.
Okay, so 770, WABC, New York, New York. A little bit of bleed coming over from 780 on this radio, but yeah, WABC, New York, New York City. So that's to 750 miles to the northeast. Nice. Okay, we're getting a good night tonight. Good.
Tools and services, including advanced technology, revealing key health risks, along with our dedicated
780 WBBM News Radio, Chicago.
at the right time. As communities, we're only as strong as our most vulnerable. And with each promising newborn, a promise for a healthier tomorrow also needs to be delivered. Fortunately, the Blue Cross being there for...
NBC News Radio. I'm Brian Shook. President Trump said this afternoon that if every Israeli hostage was not released from Gaza by Saturday, that all hell will break out, and he would call for the end of the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas Saturday at 12 o'clock.
810, this is WGY, Albany, New York, 740 miles northeast.
Plane crash near Phoenix involving a jet owned by Motley Crue lead singer Vince Neil. One person was killed in the Monday afternoon crash at Scottsdale Airport, with a fire department spokesperson saying 3 people were taken to hospitals.
QC Kinetics today. Call QC Kinetics. 809-5955. That's...
Oops, went the wrong way. I do that.
About an hour from now, make sure you stick around. Got a lot to say about what's going on with the financing and funding at USAID and a whole lot more. Also, we're going to have Case My Hill on this program as well. We break down exactly what we're seeing out of USAID. Also, should we be paying for entitlement to the person that have a job?
So, gentlemen here talking, there's 2 stations here competing. WBAP 820 Fort Worth, Texas, 810 miles to the southwest. And then we have a local station, WCPT Joliet, Illinois, to the southeast, which we're picking up when I turn it a little bit. They're supposed to be lower power. They go down to 1,500 watts at night, but you can still pick them up.
Yeah, I'm wondering about the executive order. How many has he done before?
Oh, I don't know, a lot. But probably a couple hundred, something like that.
Okay, so the first time he was in, he did what, 1?
No, he did a lot. Not the first time. The order was executive order the first time he was in.
Okay. And then...
Let's get this running over. If you want to look at it again,
finish with stage 3, and that's the final cherry on top, so that whatever Israeli anger is,
Give it some time, clears up, gets better, might get worse again. WCCO 830, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 310 miles. That's why I keep internet radio on my desk, an Ocean Digital WR18. I love that thing, and I use it when I'm listening to programs at night that are long distance. I don't have anything local, like coast to coast. I listen to my internet radio. Just, if the conditions worsen, I can't use my normal terrestrial radio.
The presentation by President Trump about what is to be done.
So 830 WCCO, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 310 miles west. Okay.
Marching north back to what were worse clouds.
Todd mentioned earlier, but you have the idea that celebrities are all aliens, at least the really famous ones.
What about Tom Brady being a robot?
Right, and he froze up like Mitch McConnell and some of the...
Here's 840 WHAS, Louisville, Kentucky. Ground Zero is playing right now, 300 miles to the southeast. And yeah, they have coast to coast in the station. This is usually one I listen to. Usually it's the most stable most of the time. But believe it or not, KOA Denver, Colorado sometimes is clearer than 840. It's interesting.
Talented people and stuff, but and it's been like that since arguably like 2012 range, and they're feeding us these heroes.
Narratives and, I guess, punchlines and emerge victorious. How did you root against that? And then, more importantly, Indians' defense definitely helped turn the tide.
So here we are, 850 KOA Denver, Colorado, 890 miles to the west.
Point, they are this year's champion, and you got to celebrate. I mean, it's...
Oh, stuff out of Toronto's coming in kind of choppy. This is CJBC 860, Toronto, Ontario.
Clemson Rock, North Carolina, 85-65. Unlockable lane.
Okay, the sports station is WWL, New Orleans, Louisiana. Taking a trip to the deep south, 865 miles in that direction. So yeah, it's amazing. The radios can pick up so far. I mean, medium wave's nice because you're getting broadcast radio all over many, many miles in the evening, which is great, depending on your location in the country. Also, shortwave is cool because it can bounce around the world. That's what makes radio so interesting to most people. So if you're wondering why you need radio, because you got a phone and Wi-Fi and all that stuff, well, one is you're not tied down to a contract. You don't have to worry about a Wi-Fi cellular tower. You just got to have a broadcasting station somewhere around the world broadcasting. That's all you got to have. One station can broadcast around the world and reach all these radios. Pretty awesome. Don't need internet. Don't need, it's fantastic. I love it. And most of you guys do watching.
Reporter was covering Mavs, Kings. I got Cavs.
That's nice and clear tonight. That's 880. This is WHSQ, formerly known as WCBS, New York, New York. 750 miles northeast.
For AD, that is some tough stuff. Yes, to hear. He's David Dennis Jr. I'm Emmett Golden. This is Game Night. Coming up next, we'll tell you who went all the way up. It's Game Night.
ESPN Radio, home of the World Series.
The Dodgers are World Series champions.
The NBA Finals.
There was no paperwork, no waiting around, and no medical exam. I just answered a few health questions.
Here's a local station, 890 WLS Chicago, the Big 89.
Go to tryethos.com and get it done today. That's TRYETHOS.com. TRYET.
To be a better person than having kids because it is so hard. That's why God has allowed the sleepless nights. That's why God has allowed.
Relevant Radio, WKBM on 930. Sandwich, Illinois, local.
Helping to raise them. I think I have a whole lot more growing up to do often sometimes than...
I'm hot for teacher. Yeah, some Van Halen. I love it. 940 WFAW for Atkinson, Wisconsin. Great music in the evening and during the day. Love it. It's an awesome song. I got my pencil. Give me something to write on. You guys know what it's about. I think this is 950 WGR. Sorry, WWJ. I already said WGR. Detroit, Michigan. 270 miles east.
original stuffed pizza.
Okay, a couple music stations before that. I don't think it was music. I think it was more like bumper music. This is 1000 of MVP Chicago.
Just perfection. Also try Nancy's thin crust, crispy on the edges with that caramelized cheese. It is sure to hit.
Across America, time-honored tradition here, of course. Here's what the great Larry King, you just heard him, and of course maintained for
1020 KDKA, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 450 miles west.
my pleasure to continue that tradition with their headquarters in Somerville.
The layoffs that will affect hundreds of employees are around your fin over the next 2 months, starting as soon as this week. In a statement, they say they're facing the same unrelenting pressures affecting many healthcare systems across the
Should be
country,
WBZ,
leading to a
1030.
projected budget gap of $250 million within the next 2 years. On the chopping block are certain management and administrative positions. Mass General Brigham is the state's largest private employer. In Somerville, James Rojas, WBZ, Boston's News Radio. Respiratory illnesses.
Here you go. You got your call letters there. That's Boston, Massachusetts, 880 miles from me, northeast.
Been 24 million illnesses, 310,000 hospitalizations on Wednesday as well. 3 to 5 inches possible. That's your forecast. I'm Matt Case.
Live.
It is so great to be able to hear you.
Loud.
Can you hear me now?
And local.
I'm going to get all I'm going to need from you.
Can only be Simon Conway.
From 4 o'clock when you get in your car.
And that's all I need to hear.
News Radio 1040 WHO.
And the story of John Wilkes Booth. And to date,
He said it really fast. It's WHO, 1040, Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles west.
In this book was what Asia Booth said about his grave. And it really made me aware of the memory of Booth and how we need to challenge it, I think. This is what she said, that no epitaph marks his grave, and there's no stone. He's buried in the Booth family plot. And her book closes with this graveside elegy. But, granting that he died in vain, he gave his all on earth, youth, beauty, manhood, a great human love, the certainty of excellence in his profession, a powerful brain, the strength of an athlete, health and great wealth for his cause. This man was noble in life. He periled his immortal soul, and he was brave in death. Already his hidden remains are given Christian burial, and strangers have piled his grave with flowers. So runs the world away. That was one of the most shocking things I'd read in the tens of thousands of pages that I read researching this book.
$1 trillion just at the federal level for a country of 40 million people. So we need the same revolution, and we need the conservative government to come in and clean house. But Trump is not assisting the right in Canada by a time, because the wave of nationalism is going to come back and bite us, and we will not.
Okay, KYW 1050. Kind of alarmist radio right now, but if you listen to these words. But yeah, you know, sometimes you just gotta like relax and just like whatever, put some music on instead. That's how the world turns, man. There's always something new. But anyway, WLAP, Kenosha, Wisconsin, pretty local.
Canada. Paper, right? We do a ton of paper from Canada. So my concern was...
They're vibrant, beautiful. Each artist is expressing themselves, expressing the world around them. So I think
1060 KYW, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 700 miles northeast.
these community, and she really hopes the show just crosses barriers. So
I know there's a gentleman that wants me to tune this every time. This is 1090. This is KAAY, Little Rock, Arkansas, 570 miles. Going out to you, the viewer who always asks for this station.
All the joy and all the freedom. When it's
Barnstorming was
Okay, this is 1100 WTAM, Cleveland, Ohio, 345 miles east.
farm teams, major league teams. They'll play anybody and everybody.
Oh, hello there. I'm sorry. Are you there? Of course. Hello?
Okay, this should be KMOX 1120. Let's just check real quick, and then we're going to zip up the dial so we can finish this band scan.
just let you know.
Oh,
In the music business for over
there we go.
57 years.
So we jumped from, quite a bit. We're at 1140 right now. This is WRVA Richmond, Virginia, 665 miles. Yeah, it's hard. I'm just kind of tuning by blind there, but you kind of look at there and see what we're doing. All right, let's turn this up. And we're going to cruise up the band. A couple more stations here.
I went to the gym. And I ran around the race.
The process that would be pass this through all of the existing state level legislative channels, I guess, and just say, like, no, it's almost passed the last time. We're ready to get it going, and we just wanted to pass now. And yeah, Joe, quite frankly, like when we were just talking about the dose.
1180 Wham, Rochester, New York, 545 miles northeast.
Like, because all what's going on at the sort of federal levels of government.
29.98. What did I say? Towels. 6 towels for 29.
WPHT, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on 1210. This is 700 miles.
Selling standard, my pillow, $14.98.
Now I'm going to zip up the dial here, and we'll go to the top of the dial. This is the graveyard part of the band, where you get a ton of low-power stations competing.
Incorporate secular things.
A lot can be found here. It's country music. I'm holding the antenna vertical, which is not something you want to do. You usually want it horizontal. Don't you go vertical, you'll lose reception, lose power, reception of the station. So definitely keep it horizontal. I'm just trying to see the dial.
Less than $1 a day. Call 1-800-4-BELIEVE. That's 1-800, the number 4-BELIEVE. With their pain-free trial, you can get a 3-week quick start for only $19.95. Call 1-800-4-BELIEVE or visit BelieveFactor.com.
Have you been keeping track of the Trump scorecard? The Watchdog on Wall Street podcast with Chris Markowski. Every day, Chris helps unpack the connection between politics and the economy and how it affects your wallet. In only a few weeks, border crossings have plummeted.
Okay, that's 1470. I guess it's going to run a little longer, but whatever, right? It's my video. I can run as long as I want. 5 hours later. Cricket sounding. Yeah. This is 1470 WMB. MBD, Peoria, Illinois. So, yeah, let's keep going.
There were no covers on that album, and it's, it has Painted Black and songs like that. So,
here's 1510 WLAC, Nashville, Tennessee, 434 miles south.
if I was to throw one of my favorite albums out, that's a good one. It's 126 to 117 with 122 remaining in the fourth quarter.
1530 WCKY, Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles.
Yeah, with the call, Wimpy, 31 points. Anyway, look, William, I've addition to this support from you and the millions of other people around the world who find us worthy. I got the book.
1540 KXEL, Waterloo, Iowa, 210 miles west.
Sold.
Music there, CHHA, Toronto, Ontario on 1610. Again, 460 miles northeast. This kind of fading music here is KCJJ, Iowa City, Iowa. Typically I get that pretty good. It's 175 miles to the west, 1,000 watts at night. That's where it's going to stop. Okay, we're getting a little bit of 1660. Yep, I believe it's 1660 there, WQLR. So in the evening, I get up to 1660. Okay, cool. Kalamazoo, Michigan, 137 miles. All right, so go ahead and fold this up. There it is, the Panasonic Toot-a-Loop. I think it did a fantastic job during the evening. And if you haven't seen the daytime scan, if it's up, if it's released already, I don't know when I release these. It depends. I just kind of flip-flop them. I release a daytime band scan every 4 days and then flip it to the evening and then daytime. I go back and forth. So I do a day and an evening on this radio, and I did. And in the daytime it was amazing, and in the evening it's amazing. So get yourself a Toot-a-Loop if you can afford it, if you like it. You know, I think it's a cool piece of collectible history. I think it'll always hold its value and probably go up because it's just a unique piece that people, I think, will find interesting no matter what the era. You know, 10, 20 years later, 30 years later from now, I think it'll still be something interesting to have on a shelf. Definitely. So the R-72 Toot-a-Loop, yep, it's awesome. And the big shout out, I forgot to mention, this was donated to the channel. I didn't have to buy this, which is great. Thank you. This is from Kid Radio. He donated quite a few radios to the channel, I believe. I don't know what the other one was, but I know it was a couple classics. A little Panda Pet. This one, there was another one, a Sony. Oh, the Sony. That's right. That new in the box F10. So he donated that too as well. So yeah, amazing guy, and donated some awesome radios. I don't know why he let this go. This is like a jewel. I'm really happy to have this in the collection. This isn't going anywhere. This is staying with Todderbert forever until, you know, I'm in the ground and my wife decides to let these go. Yeah, I don't know what'll happen to them. We'll figure something out. I gotta write up a will. Gotta love it. All right, well, there you are. If you enjoy these videos, you want to see more, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, get notified. And 3, comment down below what you think about the Panasonic R-72. Is it right for you? Do you like it? Do you think it's interesting? Is it cool enough? Is it groovy enough? Is it something you'd want? Did you have one when you were younger and liked it, and you want to reminisce, and you want to buy another one just because? That's cool, because if this was like your first radio, that's amazing. My first radio, I think it was called a Capri. It was a little square box that had an earphone. There was no speaker on it, and it took a 9-volt battery. It only had the AM band, and I think you had to like buy cigarettes to get it or something. So yeah, that was my first radio. Not as cool as this, but you know, you gotta start somewhere. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in my next awesome video.